Welcome back, everybody, to another podcast. Today, I am joined with Aliya. Hopefully, I did that right. How are you doing today?
Oh, very well. Thank you so much, Joe. Very excited to be here with FoodTribe and my FoodTribers who supported me so much for the last 3 months. So I can't wait to chat with all of you.
Yes, you have joined in, and dare I say, you have been fantastic. You
Thank you.
jumped right in. You participate in all the comments. You do great posts. You're very friendly. Like I said, you blend in very well. You're very kind to everybody, and you have learned that conversation in comments and stuff will do well. You do well. So
I think they do the same for me. We all do the same for all the FoodTribers, and that's why we are the family there.
yes, and it does help bring that friendly atmosphere in, and just like you said, it does kind of build it into what feels like a small family. We all support each other. We want each other to do well, and
Absolutely.
that's a rarity. You don't find it often. So I'll say often. Now, did you come from any other social media or anything before you got here?
So actually, I run my own website, but
Oh,
I have my own website named ambrolia.com. So that's the social media platform I am on. I am on Instagram as well. I have my page there. But there's another connection with Food Tribe. I felt that I am with more like-minded people, people who appreciate, give true feedback, and who are thorough with their work. So yes, I enjoy being on the Food Tribe media.
good. There's a lot of people who have come over from Instagram. I have
Right.
noticed recently. We've had a big influx of people who's moved over, and they say that the atmosphere difference is huge from being over on Instagram to moving to Food Tribe. They said it is such a drastic change in atmosphere and difference in people. Have you noticed the same thing?
Absolutely, and I completely agree with what they had to say. Is because Instagram is an amazing platform. It's huge, it's massive. However, it's more of a competition. Food Tribe,
Mm.
on the other hand, is really massive as well. But more than competition, it's like embracing people. We are there for each other. Like I wouldn't mind posting a very silly food that I've made, something which is not great. But I know my food tribals will be there for me. They laugh over it, they will comment over it, and we will remember it. However, if I do the same on the other social media, it's going to be like, okay, the marketing has just gone down. So
Yes.
there I see absolutely.
Yeah, I that is one thing I have found universal is a lot of people who have come over from a big place like Instagram, you don't post fails. If you prepared something and it's a complete flop fail, you just hide that. You don't post it. It goes in the back. Only your best comes out. Whereas in Food Tribe, well, we have a fail tribe to post your stuff in. And a lot of people have posted fails that have done extremely well because people flock in to support that fail even.
Yes, that's true. That's why I said it's very different. I feel so much like a food triber now. I'm so happy to be there.
Well, I think you're officially a triber. I'll say it anyway. You ran in full force, and watching you grow since you've been there, and how you've kind of a lot of people come in uh, very gung ho, or I don't know the term you want to put, and then they kind of realize that Food Tribe's a much slower pace. It you don't have to come in, and I call it spam posting. People come in and put like 10 or 15 posts a day up, and I don't know if that's what they do on like Instagram or the other social medias, but over here you can just do a couple. And then they realized that really just interacting with people will get you further than your post will a lot of times. I don't
And
know if you got, oh, go ahead.
yes, why I agree to you on this is and the others is because, like I said, it is a little slow, but it's not slow because we don't want to be fast with our posts or interactions, but it is because we genuinely want to see what others are doing. We genuinely want to read what others have written, and that's why I think Food Tribe people take their own time and they don't rush into just posting. And in the end of the day, you just have a glance of a picture and you don't know what it is, or you don't know the story behind that picture.
Right. Do you think it's because of the fast-paced nature? Instagram is so big that, in a couple hours, that post is now ancient history. Whereas in Food Tribe, it's a little slower where, 3 or 4 days ago might be old, whereas Instagram, posts get old faster. Is that, does that make sense?
100%. What you're saying is
Okay.
100%.
Yeah. Because I always wondered that because I noticed a lot of the Instagrammers when they do first start they post a lot, and I mean a lot, and then they kind of back off and realize you don't really have to. I wasn't even on any other social media when I started Food Tribe, and I was doing like 2 or 3 posts, and I thought, man, I'm posting a lot. Then I realized, just once a day's fine. Just once a day's
Because I think you have to give others a chance to appreciate what you're doing. If somebody really wants to follow a recipe, give them a day or two. Let them go get the item from the grocery. Let them prepare their day the day they want to. If I just keep posting, it's going to be, oh, Aliya, it's another thing. She just comes, posts, and goes. That's it. That's all
fine.
that she does. So no, I think it's more about interaction. There are days when I don't post, but I just come on Food Tribe and I want to comment on other people's posts. I want to support someone. I want to have a good laugh reading someone's comments. So that's the difference, the biggest difference, I must say, from Instagram and Food Tribe.
It is very comment based. A lot of the things on Food Tribe happens in the comments, and I notice a lot of new people don't take advantage of that or don't realize that straight out when they get there. And you're so correct. I'm the same way. I post once a day. Occasionally, I miss a day here or there. We all do, but I can't stay out of the comments. I'm always floating around somewhere. And because it's the interaction that you actually enjoy. I love posting stuff. I love reading other people's posts, but the comments is what I enjoy. I love talking to people, and I've been around now with so much inside humor, and it's like you said, it's like a family and friends get together, and you almost forget about, oh yeah, we're posting food. um you just get so wrapped up in the conversations.
True.
I did find it interesting that you celebrated your being paid by buying a bottle of wine. I think that's the first time I've seen somebody do that. So
Yes. And I was so happy, I did not even expect this. And I remember when I read the post that every food triber will be paid if the recipe or their post is showcased. I was, I still had a few doubts. I'm like, is that true? Will I get paid? I don't want to trouble people asking questions and, be behind hello when I'm getting paid. But when I
yeah.
actually got my account, I was like, okay, this is it. I'm going to go buy a bottle of wine because I actually promised if I do get the money, I'm going to buy something small just to cherish Food Tribe and just not for the money, but because the motivation and the love that they've given me. So yes, and I always look forward for doing that.
It was really nice to see that. I yeah, I get my tongue to work. I won't forget that. I read that and I was happy for you. It just made me smile, and I thought, fantastic, and I think that's a another big bonus is we love to see each other make it and enjoy that.
Correct.
So, would you want to go ahead? I know we've talked about this, but I mean, would you want to tell the people out there a little more about yourself, where you're from, what you do?
I would love to. So everybody knows my name now. It's Aliya. It's there in the account. I live in UAE in Dubai. I am from India. I was a cabin crew for the last 13 years with different airlines, and that's how I've got my passion in culinary and cuisine, trying different cuisine all around the world. I was a food and beverage manager for my last airline for the last 7 years. And so, yes, food is passion for me. It's love, it's cooking, it's my stress buster. And that's how my story is on FoodTribe.
Nice. So, where all have you been in
Oh,
your trip?
quite a few. Now I have been, I love US. I always had looked forward for my US flights. Um, so that was one place I loved because it's so much full of life. And yes, I love being to the southeast part of Asia because I feel again that's another very lively place. Lots of delicious food and massage, and you are happy there. So uh, the world is a happy place. Let it be
Mhm.
any country.
Yeah, I think that especially with the times in the last year or half or two, people have gotten really down and they seem to forget that the world overall is good. And no matter where you go, you're going to find good people and you can relatively have a good time. It's just, I think, we get lost in the day to day and stuff that is out there and forget that occasionally that, generally the world is a good place and it's not all as bad as other people probably have us believe.
This is just a state of mind. You can be anywhere and be happy. So it's all in your mind.
hmm I completely agree with you. I still like the United States a lot, but I agree with you. So, how long have you lived in Dubai?
I am here since past 7 years now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Since eight
Yeah.
years.
Dubai is a beautiful place, I must say.
The world's biggest, largest, tallest, everything.
Yes, they are
Yeah,
grow that is a place that is growing by leaps and bounds every day.
correct.
It it is neat to see, and you know just the culture there is so very different, and I love it. Dubai is probably one of the places I would like to visit if I
Let
ever leave the United States. Dubai is definitely one of them. Uh, but yeah, that is a place I would like to see. I've gotten to know a few people from around in the area, and like I said, it's just so much to see, so much to take in. And from what I see, you guys have a huge selection of great food there. Just absolutely great food.
Yes, the Emirati culture, the UAE culture, the food, the staple food is rice. So everything is to do with rice and a lot of meat. So yes, rice and meat is a must every single day here.
I would fit right in then. I do like rice. I can't, that's so not a problem for me. And rice and meat, I can live on that. That's fine. That's fine.
All used to do with right. We all have lived only on rice and bread. It's now with the generation where people see it as a big no, no carbs, no whites, no rice. But that's our history. That's how we all evolved by eating rice.
Well, that's it. There is so many. how do you want to put this? People who are they're running from things like you said, the whole can't eat carbs, or all of a sudden food that people have ate for centuries is now somehow bad. And it's like, well, how did we survive for centuries on this? And now all of a
Absolutely.
sudden, it's horrible food. I've never understood that. And
Yes.
I get the craze to, eat healthier, and goodness knows that's something even I try to do a little bit better. But I don't see the point in either cutting out everything, or like I said, there's the foods that people have been eating for since man has walked around on this earth, and now all of a sudden it's, oh, that's horribly bad for you. It's horribly
I know.
bad we exist.
I don't know how it's the food we've lived for thousands of years have suddenly become so unhealthy and poison for all of us. But I think that's how evolution works. We all leave things, old things behind, and come up with new ideas. And I think I would love to embrace that as well. I wouldn't say
Mhm.
that's wrong, because if we do
No,
not, we're never going to grow with time.
no, and I do agree with you. I think that trying new things, and trying, like you said, to evolve and make things better is a great way to go, and be a part of that. I just
So
don't
I
think
still
we abandon things either. So,
switch to cauli rice now. Have you eaten cauli rice?
I'm not 100% positive. The majority of the rice I eat is jasmine rice. I love jasmine.
So this cauli rice I'm talking about is just a cauliflower which is
Oh,
minced, and you eat rice. So I'm like, okay, this is not real rice. Yes, but it is served as cauli rice.
okay.
But
I
you see,
misunderstood you. Okay, no, I have not had that. Huh?
okay, you must try that. This is something that I often make at home. I won't lie. Yes, because somewhere, fitness and health is to be taken care. So I substitute cauli rice for my rice. So I just take a entire cauliflower and just put it in the grinder or a blender, and then it becomes fine particle. You just stir fry it, and then you eat it with whatever stew or curry you want. So that's the new thing, cauli rice. You can
Huh?
have it
No, I haven't
oh, I'm
tried it.
soon then.
There's so many things that that people are, transforming from different things. I find it fascinating. I do. I only about a month ago or so had a pizza with a cauliflower crust, and
Yes,
using bread dough. And I was skeptical. I'm old fashioned. I'm like, I admit that. But
yes.
actually, once I ate it and started eating it, I realized it's fine. It it's it's fine.
I mean, you are right. I tried making pizza with zucchini base and cauliflower base. However, okay, it was just fine. It was
Right.
not satisfying, just fine.
Well, I think, I know in my terms, I know I'm 47. Well, I'll be 47 next month. I have done things for so long that I am kind of set in my ways. So it's like, well, pizza needs to have a bread-based crust. So sometimes it's just getting past my own stubbornness. It really is. And stepping out and trying something different, and not fighting it, but try it. And I do preach that a lot is, try it. I'm not eating crickets, but try it, and then give an opinion on it. Uh, and I'm trying to get better at that. FoodTribe has changed me a lot in that regard, because I used to be a lot more stubborn on trying new things that are just weird to me, like cauliflower crusted pizza. I would not have been interested in that before, but now, uh, hey, I'll try anything really. So
It's good that you're happy to try, because I still know people who are so stubborn with the food criteria and the food choices, and because they're not open to trying anything else, it sometimes gets difficult, to even explain to them why I have done this and how I have done this. So, like I said, we always have different segments of people in the audience. So it's good.
Yeah. Well, and that's what makes, Food Tribe so good too, is you get such a variety of things. And you might come across a food that is very standard and traditional, and then come across somebody who said, well, you know what, I want to either make that healthier, or I just used my own imagination and made this. And you're like, I would, you'll look at something and you're like, I would have never thought of that. Just so
Yes, true.
it's nice, and it does give better ideas. Like, hummus was something I could give or take. It was fine. I can eat it. I'm not a huge fan. I wouldn't eat it every day. I could eat it once in a while. And then Natalie posted a sweet potato hummus.
Yes.
And I thought, I didn't know you could make hummus with sweet potatoes. And I thought, I love sweet potatoes. I need to try this. And sure enough, that is one of the best hummus I have ever had. And it was like, I could eat this all the time.
Actually comes up with the best vegan ideas.
She
So,
does.
and even Woody. I love these two vegan food tribals.
Yes. They are very good at what they do. Natalie has been on FoodTribe for some time now, and she she come right in and done her thing, and it has been so neat to watch the recipes that she does and how she changes things. And after I done the podcast with her and got to talk to her for a while, it I don't know, everything changed. It was like, wow, I had a whole new appreciation for what she done. And especially once I heard, her background story and where she came from. And I thought that can't be easy.
Correct.
Where she came from, much like what you said, it is a lot of meat. They eat a lot of meat, cheeses, stuff like that. It's part of their diet all the time. And she said, for her to kind of go against that and go vegan, the the struggle was real, because people's like, yeah, but you're going to, well, like she said with her dad, you're going to eat my barbecue still though, right? And she's like, no, I can't, and that would be stressful. So I did gain a new respect for her in that regard. Foodie, I think, does fantastic. And there again, Susie is such a nice lady. There again, I
Yes.
respect what she does, because she sticks to vegan. And then I really felt bad for her, because she come from Instagram as well, and she
Yes.
was talking how big
Instagram, each other
how
there.
were to her, because she still cooked meat for her kids or other family members when they would come over. And she said
Yes.
they just hated her and called her, or said she wasn't a true vegan, and it was just this harassment. I thought I couldn't deal with that. Deal with
Oh, it's just my husband and me at home. So I'm blessed he's open to eat and try everything. So I don't have to worry. Sometimes he does try the failures. And he's like, okay, this if you post next time, I'm going to comment. Please do not try. And I'm like, if you do that. So basically, we have our fun part. And most of the time when he's at work, I do my food photography, my cooking, my presentation, because I feel it's just easier when I'm alone, because then I have my little studio at home.
Oh, nice.
Yes, because I
So
love cooking, so that's why I love cooking and clicking. So it gets that part of me.
so I will say your photos are fantastic, and your presentations of things are absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
So you say you have like a little studio. How do you shoot your food or photograph your food?
So, okay, this was a little secret, but now that you've asked me, I am happy to share that with you as well. So I've got these props, I've got different backgrounds, I've got different napkins and cutleries. And you know what happens is when you get into food photography, the only thing when you go out, you look for is different crockeries, different cutleries, because you know this is going to look good in your picture and you don't want to repeat them. So I started clicking at home, I started doing editing, and then I saw a good response. So I said, why not get into your own food cooking recipes and the photography part as well? So yeah, that makes me, I think my hidden skills of photography came out, and I'm still working on it. And I'm glad you all liked it. That means I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, I think you're doing fantastic. You go up into them people. There's some people on FoodTribe who are amazing photographers, and they, you almost don't believe that, this was shot in someone's home. You're like, no, this was a professional studio and it's shot, this and that. And you find out, no, no, it's basically just shot at their dining room table like everybody else. And I definitely think you fall into that range because there is times I have looked at your pictures going, there's no way. It's like, no, I guess it is. So I am always, I'm not that good. I'm not. But I do know what you mean. Me and the wife was out just walking around a neighboring town, hitting antique stores and different things. And I have been amazed at how often now I pick up a glass or a plate or a little bowl, and it's like this would be perfect for. Oh no, I'm looking at food stuff now, and it's
Yes, true. You know,
and
sometimes I plates I've got for my food photography to eat. I mean, I don't give it to my husband because I'm like, oh no, you will. I don't want any scratches there because that's only for my photo shoot. And he's like, so everything in our kitchen is only for the photo shoot. And I'm like, yes. But it's
yeah, well the cutting board I found that I have, it's only appeared twice, and the cheesesteaks I've been putting on there because I just thought that was kind of cool. It's kind of an American thing, so I thought. And I would there again, was in an antique store, walking through, and it was propped up on the shelf. And I just stopped and I was like, that's exactly what I need. And it was just that immediate. And yeah, I walked out with that. And I had already kind of planned on doing this post, and I was like, that's perfect. And I thought, I'm going to have an entire kitchen full of nothing. None of my dishes are going to match because everything's just going to end up being different things for food drive.
what has happened with me now. So I have these colorful plates. Everything is different. So when I have guests at home, I have to go to the old crockery and they're like, hey, we can eat in that plate. And I'm like, no, they're too colorful. That's only for my pictures. So now even they know that when we go to Aliya's place, we have to ask her for her old crockery where we can eat. So yes.
Oh no, that's bad. Unfortunately, my kitchen's kind of small, and it's already sort of maxed out. And I'm already thinking I gotta build bigger pantries somewhere in my house. And I've joked with my wife, and I've told her, I'm like, I'm going to have to take that wall and turn it into a pantry, and just for dishes and different cooking things that I've acquired, because there again, FoodTribe is not only caused me to buy dishes that I didn't plan on buying, but like, the sous vide machines, the vacuum sealers, you just start, waffle irons, you start buying things because you're like, well, now I got to try that recipe. I
Yes,
don't have the things to make it, but I got to.
yes, yes. That's what even I keep doing. I have so many kitchen appliances now. And sometimes I'm like, okay, give me space. Just leave me alone in my kitchen with my appliances. Nobody else come in because then there is no space at all. But is your wife also into cooking? She likes cooking. She likes what you are doing. You all share the same interest.
No, actually she's cooks more than I do.
Oh,
Um, yeah, we have two different kind of cooking styles though, so it works. Um, I was always the cook over a fire person. Just let me make a fire, I'll fix anything.
Okay.
So I'm not a baker. I've always said that. I've baked a few things in my life. Um, I It's just not my main thing. I guess maybe I always have a theory that if you're not interested in something, you'll never do really good at it. And baking is something I'm not interested in, but my wife is, and she's phenomenal at it. So I let her do that, you know. And so it's go
I've
ahead.
never seen you post a baking picture actually.
Mm-mm, you won't. I've made a few buns and stuff for different burgers I've made. There's a few little things. You'd really have to go through my profile. Like when I done the World Burger Tour, there was a few things I made there,
Mm-hmm.
and because, well, it was part of the deal. But it's something I'm not that interested in. Just general cooking, is more my thing. So that's where me and my wife balance each other out really well. And she is excellent at Asian food. She's part Asian. And so she is so good at that. I don't even bother. I just get out of her way and say, okay, that's you, you know. So we kind of split the cooking, you know. She loves it. No, she is a very good cook. Can't say
Nice that
nothing.
you share the same interest. I mean, it's the same here with us. So
Good.
yeah.
That's because that was going to be one of my questions is so when I've talked to other people, you know, when you cook something, do you go ahead and let your husband eat and give him food, or are you trying to like, well, you got to wait till I'm done photographing it first, you know?
Actually, what happened was when I started photographing, I used to take the plate and run outside to the balcony. And while he's still waiting, thinking that I'm going to give him, and he's like, "What did you just do?" I said, "Oh, I need proper lights. I need to take a nice picture, you know." So he saw that and he's like, "Okay, we need to find a solution." So he actually got me all the photography props, and he's like, "You are not going to take my plate and my food outside and click pictures in the you are going to do it in the house in the kitchen." So yes, I mean I mostly finish my photo shoot before he comes. So you know whenever he comes home he's always hungry, so there is no patience, not much, there is but not much. So I
Right.
kind of wrapping it up because sometimes you know you need to take different uh, pictures, and then it's not just good with one. Sometimes you have to change the entire layout. So it's better I create the mess and I clean it up before he comes.
There you go. Because I know there's been several people I've talked to who, you know, it's always funny to hear that story of, you know, so their partner or whatever is in another room going, "Are we going to eat anytime soon?" Well, as soon as I take another dozen pictures or so, we'll get around to it. Or, you know, it's interesting to hear how people kind of cope with that and deal with it. I always find that interesting.
Yes,
Oh,
but I just feel sometimes his phone or his thing is better than mine, his phone. So I'd be like, can I take a picture and quickly pass the phone to you and then we can eat? But yeah, more or less. I'm thinking of buying a good phone now for the camera.
yeah, I had to upgrade mine. It's bad when you think of, you know, I need a new cell phone. Well, what I really need is a better camera for it. And you're picking your phone in accordance to your food tribe things, and it's like, oh no.
Yes, that's why I mentioned that I need to buy a phone for a good camera. I mean, the rest follows.
Mm. Now, do you like me? I use my phone for everything. 100% honest. Just I Every photo you see is from my phone. Do you have
Okay.
an actual camera, or do you use a phone as well? Or
I do have the phone, but I prefer clicking it with the camera because I feel it's more real. It
Mhm.
gives a little life to food, and that's why you see the difference in the photography. So yes, phone is absolutely doing the same job, but there is, a little bit of a difference. So that's why you see the enhanced photos.
Right. Well, I don't doubt that. What kind of camera do you use?
I'm using a Sony DSLR now. It's my husband, so I just told him, okay, you give this to me and let me do my photography. He's like, okay, fine, this is yours, and you can have your little time when I'm not at home. So
That's great. I love that. Now, do you do the whole box thing, light box, where it's all like tinted off with the lights and all, or?
now I keep it very simple. Luckily, I have a nice French window, so I just, set up a table there. I put my props there, and the daylight is enough. I don't think I need anything else because most of the photos I click is just during the day with the enough daylight that I have. So I don't think I need a diffuser or any kind of a background.
Right. I know, lighting is important, and daylight always does. It's just better light. Did you?
Yes.
I know, like me, I went through changing light bulbs in the house and I changed them to that true daylight, and then I upped the wattage so they'd be even brighter, just so things would light up better. I mean, have you done that as well, or is that just me?
No, I haven't. Probably if I get into videos, which I am thinking about, this is my future plan to make videos, short reels or something like that, then maybe I might have to get some light props and things like that. But as of now, I'm just happy with my natural daylight. So whatever you see in the pictures, it's all clicked during the day without any kind of light effects.
Okay, that's always neat to know. That's the other thing I love is how people do it. I've heard everything from, yeah, I set up lights and I have, like you said, the diffusers or uh, different even flashes. And then there's the people like you who's like, I just use the sun. It's fine.
Yes,
It's
I felt that when I compare my pictures with the people who are using diffusers, I feel it's almost the same. But I think because they like doing that and they feel it's more enhanced, but I don't find much of a difference if you are good with the editing part.
mhm. Yeah, I hate to admit it, but sometimes photo editor is an amazing tool. And it never makes up for just a good picture. I mean, you can only edit a bad picture so much and make it so good.
True.
If you have a great picture from the get-go, very little bit of editing and just
True.
very little can make it an excellent picture.
So
So,
that's what is happening on Instagram, though. The problem is now people let it be a paste, just a muffin. You have a blueberry muffin, I have a blueberry muffin, but then they put so much of the heart and soul in that one click with the diffusers, with the backgrounds, with the flashes. It's always a winner. So I feel sometimes it's not fair when people are appreciating this picture and not the other blueberry muffin just because the person does not have the right lights. But maybe it's more tastier. I feel that's unfair as well. So
yeah,
it's just maybe he can't afford, maybe not about the afford part, maybe he does not know. Maybe he does not know I can do this and make my pictures better.
mhm. Well, then that's one thing I will say with FoodTribe is it don't matter how good or bad a picture is, people love it either way. And
Exactly.
I ain't gonna lie, I love the high end photography like what you and Natalie and even Booty and some of the others do, and really put the time and effort into it. It's fantastic to see those kind of pictures. And I'm glad we have people like you who do that because it kind of inspires people like me. But at the same time, I do like that. I want a good picture. I want everything clear. I want everything lit, but I still want to make it feel like it was literally taking at the table, or it was, that better
Yes.
amateur kind of style. You know what I mean? I love that style of picture.
Understand. However, I feel like with Natalie, Woody, me, and I'm sure there are many more other good photographers, like the food photographers. It's a kind of an addiction as well. Maybe they won't agree, but once we see the pictures in a certain way and angle, we sometimes, when it comes to our own food, I'll be like, okay, this is something's missing there. Something's not okay. I think it's an addiction. It's just how you see, and then you just get used to it. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I don't go to the level that you guys go to, but I know even with what I do, you're always moving stuff. You'll take it
Correct.
pictures and then you'll look at it and go, no. And you'll move things around again. And I know mine's nothing like your guys's, but trust me, I still understand that because maybe, something you have is just needs to be an inch more one left or right because you can see something in the back that you don't want to see, or, there's a shadow there that you don't want. And well, as I've said, people who actually worry about their photos hasn't had a hot meal in a long time because your food is always so cold by the time you get around and done taking pictures. And I know how many times I've actually moved food on the plate, and then when you move it, you got to take your paper towel or whatever you use and then wipe up that plate so you don't have that smudge mark.
Yes, that's such a funny part. And sometimes, when I'm doing the food photography for soup and I want things from the soup outside, I literally have to like spoon it out and be like, okay, okay, it should not go sinking in again. So it's fun, but I think that's what just motivates me and pushes me to cook.
Yes, yes. The photography is very fun. It is. When you see though people who, I think some people rely on the editor, the photo editing more than they should. They should put more time into the actual picture and not the editor, because
Correct.
a lot of times I see pictures that probably would have been really good, but they got very heavy handed on editing, and they took what would probably have been a good picture and kind of ruined it. I hate to,
Correct.
but that's just
I'm sure I have had a few as well, but it's
haven't seen them. I haven't seen. So like I said, I think you do fantastic. So
much.
all right, well, if you don't mind, I'll ask you some of the questions that people have been, wanting answered, and I have asked a lot of other people. Do you have a guilty pleasure food?
Guilty pleasure food. Absolutely. We all do. And I don't know if you know this, it's called ras malai. It's a dessert made with milk, a lot of milk and sugar. It's an Indian dessert. However, it's just like a milk dumpling. So I think that is something I cannot say no to. It's a milk dumpling. Not everybody knows this. It sounds funny as well. Like milk dumpling, how can you make that? So it's a nice piece of milk dumpling soaked in milk, and you just leave it in there. So it keeps soaking, and becomes nice and fluffy and soft. And my mouth is watering. So that I can never say no to. So yeah.
Well, I love all kinds of dumplings, so I am sure that sounds good. Sweetened milk is usually a good start, and anything with the word dumpling in it, I'll stand in line for it. So
I'll make that in post as well. So now when you have a look at it, you'll get an idea. Okay, what kind of a sweetened dumpling, milk dumpling I'm talking about.
okay, yeah, I'll have to look those up and see, what they're about, because there again, I'm not afraid to try something, and I said I love dumplings, so hey, to say, when you
Yeah,
said it, how
try
people
that.
how how do you make a dumpling with milk or out of milk or whatever? When I done just before I started World Burger Tour, I was playing around with different burgers in different regions of the world to see how people would accept it actually. And I made basically a ramen burger. And it was
Oh,
funny because everybody was saying, "You just made a soup burger." And I'm like, a soup burger is hilarious because they said, you can't make a burger out of soup. And yeah,
but you
that's
have some creativity to make that.
yeah, it was well, some YouTube was involved. I ain't gonna lie. But you know, that is something you once you see things, I'm that way. I gotta try it. And it's like, okay, that's just so crazy. I need to see if that actually works. Come to
True.
find out it worked really well.
True.
Uh, well, since we're on that note, I'll go ahead and ask, where does your inspiration come from for recipes and ideas?
So, like I started cooking after marriage, so it's not very long. Say 2 years back, that's where I actually I started getting in the kitchen. I started cooking because now I have to cook for someone else as well. So, I felt that it was just getting monotonous. I was doing the same type of cooking again, and I think I would like to give the credit to my husband because he always kept giving me feedback. Said, listen, you need to make something different. You need to give me variety. You need to, you go buy whatever you want from the stores, but make variety. So I think in order to make him happy, I started, playing around with my grocery, playing around in the kitchen and seeing what can I do, starting watching a lot of videos. I got a couple of books to read on recipes, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm getting the gist of it. Now I know what I can do in the kitchen, and then I started making my own things. Like I recently posted a Thai iced tea, which nobody else has done. It's a Thai tea, which I made it as a sweetened bar because we love ice creams. I love ice cream. So something which was healthy, different, so yeah, I think my mind just started getting the creativity in the food. So that's what has inspired me. It's just the small
Right.
feed.
Well, sometimes that's all that matters is the small changes and the small creativities that can really make a big difference. I did just see that as well. This will come out so much later, but at the moment, I am currently really behind on FoodTribe. I have been busy last couple of days and haven't been able to keep up like I normally do. And I just seen that, and I thought I have not had a Thai iced tea in so long. And I immediately just sit there going, I wonder if I got the stuff to make one. And I was sitting there, I thought, now I need a Thai iced tea. Dadgummit, do you ever run across those moments where you're cruising Food Tribe and you see something and like that where you think, now I have to have that? Do you ever have those moments?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, every time, like I said, I see this. So Nat had posted the stuffed onions in
Hmm.
a couple of days back, and I was wondering. I zoomed that picture. I tried to zoom it so many times. That how did she stuff the onion? So I'm like, I have to try this because I don't see myself cutting the onion without the rings, and how am I going to stuff it? So something that was something different. Then the Filipino food, I think, I forgot. I'm so sorry. My bad. Joel, yes, Joel keeps posting a lot of lovely Filipino food. So recently he posted something with pineapple. And I'm like, okay, this is something I need to try. So it's good. And I love a lot of other food tribers, when they have this lovely garden and they have their own harvesting going on.
Hmm.
So always be like, when I shift to a big house, I'm also going to do the same like them. So, they all motivate me to do something.
And that's always good. I know this year I just didn't feel it. I usually have I don't have like a big garden, but I do plant stuff that I like to eat and I like to have fresh. And this year I just couldn't be bothered. I really couldn't. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to bother with it and I'm just going to just not. And then of course, being on Food Tribe, I see people harvesting their stuff out of their gardens. And then I sit there and going, I should have planted this year. I should have done, start and grew this or that. And then it's like I don't really have time. And this year my heart's just not in it. And if your heart's not in it, you're not. it's not going to go well. And
Correct.
so I just do it, and now I regret it.
And soon. Don't worry. I think we will start at the same time.
No.
I start exactly a year later.
Oh,
We were
okay.
planning to shift to a bigger house, so where we will have our garden. So that's where I can plan because right now it's quite small to do any harvesting.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you here. UAE is the place where you cannot do harvesting because we are a desert. It's a
Mhm.
big, huge desert, and it's so hot here that you need to have special kind of a climate. They do everything technologically, and plus, they have their own harvesting farms. So very, very difficult to do the natural stuff at home.
Oh, yeah. And see, that's something else I find very interesting is, when you live in certain climates that you do meet, you are limited in accordance to. There's those who live in very rainy areas where they said, a lot of plants don't do well because they can't handle so much water all the time. And I love the creativity of some of the people who live in apartments and they have a small balcony. Natalie, talking about you again too, who utilize that little tiny space and do it in little pots and planters and even in their own home.
Yes,
And I love that. I just that determination of I'm going to do it. But
yes.
yeah, big desert would be harsh.
Yes, the weather here is very harsh, though. I'm not kidding. Like in summers, we reach 50 degrees Celsius, I'm talking about. So imagine having a plant. There's absolutely no harvesting. Everything is just drying up here. So
Oh, see, I don't do well in hot weather. I can't. I'm a very moderate temperature kind of person. I don't know
yeah,
the breakdown for Celsius. Sorry, for Celsius. Um, but in Fahrenheit, 70 degrees to about 50 degrees is really where I like cooler weather. Once you start going past 80s, and occasionally like here we've had a few days that are like 100 degrees, and it's just I'm done. I don't even want to be outside. So when I talk to people like you and a few of the others where, they're talking 115, 120 degrees outside, I'm like, nope. Nope, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
being humans, right? We're so adaptive. We just get along anywhere. They always say you do something for more than 21 days and you get used to it. So you stay here for 21 days, you get used to it.
I kind of agree with that. I I got used to heat a long time ago because the factory I worked in, I worked next to bake ovens for car parts, and it where I worked. It was 125 degrees on average, and it was just miserable. And you're right. I got used to it after time. I still didn't like it, but I could deal with it. But I just think, wow, man, I don't know how some people live in some of these. It's that hot. It's just nope. There's parts of the US I refuse to go to at certain times of the year because it's just too hot. Like, no, I'm good. So, but yeah, I think I hope you get a house where you can have your own garden and get to grow your own stuff. I'm sure you'll do great at it and make great posts, I'm sure. So good luck
Much.
with that.
Thank you.
Um, no problem. Is there any food or recipe that intimidates you? Anything that
Yes, it does. I think cheesecake. I know people are going to laugh. They are. I know a lot of people will be like, "Is she kidding? Cheesecake is the most easiest thing." Yes, it is. However, the right amount of sour cream and the cheese and the sugar and the baking process, and the entire the crust, I just
Mhm.
get so intimidated. I just feel like, okay, this is something which I may spoil, or this is something, it really intimidates me. I don't know why. Maybe it's just in my head. I mean, I can do such difficult recipes, but when it comes to the most easiest thing, that's a cheesecake, I just go cold.
Hmm. Well, in fairness, I do understand that. I've made a couple cheesecakes in my day. They're tedious. They're
Okay.
I won't say they're hard, but they're tedious. You do have to pay attention. And my problem is I get to making it and I thought this is gonna be a ginormous cake. It's just you start making it and it's hard to, like, I want to start making them smaller, and because it's something I can't eat a lot of. So a lot of times I'll make one, or even my wife will make one for that matter. And most of it we have to give away because you can't eat an entire cheese. Well, I'm sure there's people who can,
Correct.
but and so you eat a couple pieces and you're like, okay, I'm done with it. Well, now you have all of this cake, and I want to make small ones, like little individual ones that you could actually fully eat. And I sit and look at that recipe and think, okay, I know how to make a big one. Now, how do I shrink it down to something smaller? And I'm like, just make a big one. It's easier. I'll just give the rest of it away. It's fine.
Cheesecake, that's something I just like to see others posting. But like even now in my fridge, I have the cream cheese, I've got sour cream, I've got the Graham's biscuits, everything's ready. But just something stops me from trying to make that. But I think now that you've asked me this question, tomorrow is the day, hopefully.
I have full confidence in you. You'll do fantastic.
Thank you.
I'll patiently wait for the post. I'm sure it'll be great, and I'm excited to see what kind of flavor profiles you go with. That's one of the other things I love to see. Cheesecake is such a great blank canvas to work with. It Plain is fantastic. It's good. I like these people who take off with it and get completely crazy with flavor profiles. And it's so neat to see because a lot of people think, well, it's this, don't change it. It's good this way. And I think that's where, like you said, people get stuck in a bit of a rut, or they catch themselves making the same things over and over because they don't ever want to change something.
Correct.
And that's something I love to see, is where they say, well, you know what, I can make a plain cheesecake, but what if and the next thing you know, they're rummaging in a pantry coming out with stuff, and it's just, I love seeing that creative process with people.
And it's like these days, the in thing is matcha cheesecake.
Yeah.
Don't know if I would really like to try one, but
Yeah. That is something I haven't tried really, is matcha. I'm curious. I think it's a little overplayed.
yes, it's all the hype of matcha and the green color now. So
Uh, I feel the same way, though. I know it's that way, at least in the United States. I don't know if it's anywhere else, but avocados. Look, avocados are good, but calm down. Uh, they don't need to be in everything, you know. I do think food trends can be bad
yes,
because they 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 flood the market with something, and everything has to be that flavor or made from that one particular thing. And then I think what they do is, if it is, get my tongue to work, they can flood the market so much that people get sick of it after a while, and then they
correct,
don't want to eat because they've done for 6 weeks because this trend or fad came through. They've ate it all the time,
correct.
and
It started
yeah.
with the blueberries, so everything was blueberries. Then everything became avocados. So we get something, and then we just. I think it's more about the color play because we like seeing different colors. It's just what you see is colorful. You feel it's going to be more edible. So the
Hmm.
blue, this bluish and purple color, avocados and matchas giving the green color. So it's that. Sorry, it's my aquarium light that has come on.
Oh, that's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. So you got an aquarium, do you?
I do, yes. I don't know if you can see.
I don't see it right off now. So that's cool. What kind of fish do you got?
I've got some neon tetras, Raspura tetras, guppies, zebra snail. Then we've got a lot of shrimps. We love
Nice,
aquarium.
nice. That's fantastic.
Picture one day, but I'm not doing it on FoodTribe because I don't want to be posting full items. But yeah, I mean, aquascaping is something which is a hobby for my husband and me. So we
Okay.
both start our aquariums from scratch.
Oh, nice. I love aquariums. I do. Respect to everybody who has one because they are a lot of maintenance.
Yes,
I I I found that out very quickly. I know some people who have some very elaborate ones to some very basic ones, and even your most basic of aquariums take a lot of work. And
correct.
well, if you really care about them, it's a lot of work.
Sometimes the medicines that we have to use for the fish is more expensive than us.
Oh wow.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Sometimes if we have a little itchiness or a burn or something, our ointments are way cheaper than the for the medicines you have to buy for the fish.
Wow. That
Yes.
that's crazy. Yeah, don't post that on Food Tribe. People think you're raising your own seafood or something. That'd be bad. Now, we used to have a pet tribe, where we
Okay.
could pay pets, but they done away with that one. Uh, there was a lot of the tribes they done away with, and I was in agreement with it because it wasn't being used. And there was, some of them tribes you would go in and nobody had posted there in months. And it's like, okay, just get rid of that one. We don't need the one. And maybe you ought to combine a couple. And they done a big overhaul of the tribes. And they got rid of Pet Tribe. And at first I thought, who cares? But then it's like, well, no, because there was some of us who have pets of all kinds, and we do like to show them off occasionally.
We would love.
And
We have our own groups on Facebook. We have this aquarium people group, and also we are a part of it. But yeah, it would have been lovely to be with the pet tribe. Maybe in the future once again.
yeah, well, maybe we can put in a word and get it to come back. I think it was fun. I know that there was some people who said that it was kind of inappropriate because it's a food-based app, and then people's posting their pets, which makes it look like, hey,
Correct.
get it. But come on, people. We know you're not going to eat your cat or your dog or your fish or.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I just stick to the content. I just do the food and nothing else.
Uh, and I think that is something that when we had it, it did show that other side of things. And it it was a very small glimpse into people, and I still say that pet owners are, yeah, I don't know. There's just something more about people who are willing to take care of animals and pets and like that. And I don't care if it's cat, dog, chickens, fish. Hey, if you're willing to take care of them, that says a lot. So I might have to have a word with John and be like, look, we need this back. So
Seriously, I would be more than happy if it comes. I'll be posting all my aquariums, my shrimps, and my snails. It's so much fun.
yeah, aquariums are fun. They're just more work than I want to put into them. And I like animals I can play with. I found out as a very small child that fish don't play well. Won't go into that, but it didn't end well. So I like my cats, my dogs, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yes.
so I'd love to see them. I would love to see your aquarium. It sounds wonderful. So, uh, what's your favorite cheese? I got a favorite cheese.
Definitely, I do have. So I like Gouda cheese. I just love Gouda. I love brie, especially with caramelized onions. I think brie and caramelized onions go very well. So these two are my favorite. And my new current favorite is burrata.
Garata.
Yes. So if you have a look at burrata cheese, it's just like a round ball, and then when you cut it, you have a cheesy, like a liquid, semi-liquid form coming out. So it's a new thing. I mean, I, I, I'm sorry, I should have done my little research on burrata as a cooking passionate, which I have not because I just saw these ads coming up and everybody's into burrata, and then I went and I bought myself, and I'm like, wow, this is tasty. This is the new favorite. So yeah, but I should be doing some more research for something that I like. You're right.
That is something I haven't heard of, which shocking. Since I've started doing this, I have heard of more cheeses that.
Started posting so many pictures with the burrata salad. So it's just like I tried just once and I bought just once, but I think I'm going to buy them again. It's must try. I mean you can just have a look on the internet later. So
Yeah, I will. I will. A lot of things though for me is it's just hard to get. I live in very small town USA, so to find some of these, like, uh, I've heard a lot about brie, and I know about it, but it's pretty hard to find for me.
oh
So
really?
yeah, we got all the basics, but either you got to find a international store or something like that, or you got to put a little more work into it as opposed to it's hard to go down to like just your local supermarket and buy it. And that's
Oh,
the same with all the cheeses I hear about. Natalie wants me to try, I'm going to butcher this one, ulami cheese. And it's something I can't find. I have no idea. Just, I'm sorry,
oh,
wrong.
so, but you can order online. I mean, how does it work? And is it quite accessible to get food online if you order grocery online?
It can be. There is a lot of things I can order. I've
Yeah,
never, I've never ordered cheese. That would be a new one for me.
order cheese. Imagine Amazon selling cheese.
Well, that's what I was literally just thinking. I thought I haven't exactly went on Amazon looking for cheese yet. That would be new. So
It's on Amazon, so I wouldn't be surprised if they sell cheese.
no, it really wouldn't. It no, it wouldn't shock me at all. It really wouldn't. So it is amazing what you can get online now and have ordered and shipped to your house. It, we're lucky enough we live in a time now where that's possible, and it, you know, food that would have been impossible to have without getting on an airplane and going somewhere, even just 20 years ago, let's say. Now you can literally just have it shipped to your house and try it. And, so in that regard, we live in a fantastic time. I never thought I'd get to try A5 Wagyu beef because I thought I'll have to go to Japan to get it. And then I found out, no, I can just have it shipped to my house.
Oh
And
yes,
it's
and one
fantastic.
everywhere. It's become such a common a piece of meat.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, but I think it's just how the world is, right? We are so open and close to each other that we are all connected.
Mhm. Yeah. And for as much of a problem that it can be at times, it's still a good thing. It's still an amazing thing to think, well, just like this. I mean, are you still there?
Sorry, yeah, sorry, I just got a call.
Oh, okay. It's fine. I was starting to wonder. I thought, oh, I lost you. Um, it is such a great thing because, just like talking to you, knowing you're in Dubai, I'm in the United States. Uh, the technology has allowed us to sit and talk to each other and Whereas before, this just would have been impossible. So it is a great thing. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is Thai food. If you
Thai.
know, always post something which is very close in taste to Southeast food. I think I just love the flavors because they use so much of peanuts, sugar, chilies, coconut. This is a lovely combination. I feel bad when people say, "Oh, we don't like coconut in our food," or "We don't like that hint of sugar." Yes, I understand, but I think Thai cuisine or Southeast cuisine is very flavorful.
Mm.
They know exactly which ingredients to mix and match. So yeah, I think it's the Thai food.
That is something I do like is Thai
Oh,
food. It it has, like you said, an abundance of flavor. But the one thing I do like and appreciate with Thai food is they also want texture. Texture of food is very important. They don't want a lot of just like a soft food, or you have to have a mix. You need something that's a little soft, something that's a little crunchy, something that's a little, and it's an all around meal. You get your textures, your colors, your flavors. You get a little sweet, maybe either a little sour or, a little bitter
yes.
too. So, although I have come to appreciate Indian food and Middle Eastern food, I have found that they love flavor. I do. And
I,
I love.
I think so. It's full of flavors and spices for us.
Yes. And that is something I do appreciate. So much food is, well, okay, I'm going to upset some people here. I'm sorry. But after coming from eating a few Indian foods and Middle Eastern foods, and then you come back to what you normally are used to eating, it almost seems bland
Correct.
because Indian food and Middle Eastern food is so flavorful. It's almost overwhelming at first, but then you settle into it and you think the diversity of flavor that happens in one bite is just amazing. So, all right. Have you had a cooking injury? Have you had ever been hurt while trying to cook?
Always, always. Like the other day, I had a little flesh from my right hand index finger come off. Burns are something which is so natural to me because I think I'm very restless. I want to cook and I want to clean there and then. I cannot wait for the stuff to cool off and then I can go clean. I want to cook, switch off that stuff, and clean it right there and then. So yeah, that's something with me. I have a little OCD in my kitchen. So I always keep hurting myself and burning myself post cooking, mostly in the cleaning process.
Yes. That would actually be an interesting question. I'll have to remember that. Because I am that way. I have my hot dishwater or whatever there, and I wash as I cook. And I try to keep up that way. I know a lot of people will just cook everything and then wash everything up later.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
Sorry. I think I'm getting calls. I have to leave in 5 minutes. I thought it was for 1 hour.
Oh, okay. No, that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay, well, if you got 5 minutes, we'll just kind of wrap this up then.
Please.
Okay, real quick, is there anything, your websites or anything you want to uh, or, yeah, promote, whatever. Sorry, words skip me.
Certainly. So my website is linked on my FoodTribe profile, which is ambrolia.com, which means ambrosia by Aliya. So it's the Greek food. Ambrosia means the food for the gods. It's a Greek word. So I please do have a look at it, and I will be posting the same thing on FoodTribe as well. So it's the same content.
Okay. Um, I will probably get the links from you and have them so I can put them in the description down below so people can go from this video straight to those and check them out if they so desire. So, all right. Well, I want to thank you once again for coming on, talking to us for a while, and letting us get a glimpse into your life a little bit and get to know you a little better.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Okay. Well, Food Tribe, I hope you enjoyed this little segment. I hope you get to enjoy getting to know our friend Aliya a little bit better and getting to know her. She's been a fantastic addition to Food Tribe. We love having her there. Go check out the rest of her content, support her, and as always, Food Tribe, stay wonderful. I love y'all. Bye.